In this presentation, we will discuss what acids and bases are, and the differences between them. Almost every solution can be classified as either an acid or a base, which will determine the properties it has. Acidity or basicity, also called alkalinity, is a chemical property. Remember that a chemical property determines how a substance reacts with another substance. So, if a material is acidic, it will react a certain way, and if it is basic, it will react in a different way. Let's look first at acids. The word acid comes from the Latin word acidus, which means sharp or sour, and acids do have a sour taste. The definition of an acid is a solution that has an excess of hydrogen ions. An ion is an atom that has a charge. In this case, the hydrogen ion has a positive charge because it is missing an electron. Without that extra electron to neutralize the atom, the hydrogen becomes positive. The more hydrogen ions a solution has, the more acidic it is. All acids have some properties in common. They taste sour, and they are able to conduct electricity. They are also corrosive, which means that they break down certain substances, such as fabric, skin, or paper. The stronger the acid is, the more corrosive it is. Some acids also react strongly with metals. Acids can be used for different things. Vinegar is an acid called acetic acid. Citrus fruits such as lemons, limes, and oranges, and sour candies contain citric acid. Vitamin C is also an acid called ascorbic acid and is a necessary chemical for your body. Other common acids include sulfuric acid, which is used in production of fertilizers, steel, paints, and plastics. Car batteries also contain acid. A solution can also be a base. If a solution is basic, then it has an excess of hydroxide ions. Hydroxide ions are an oxygen and a hydrogen group that have a negative charge. Another term for basic is alkaline. If we talk about the alkalinity of a solution, we are talking about how basic it is. Bases have properties that are different from acids. They feel slippery and taste bitter. Like acids, they can be corrosive and can conduct electricity. Unlike acids, bases do not react with metals. Bases are used a lot in cleaning products such as soaps and ammonia. The hydroxide ions in bases interact with other substances such as dirt and grease to help remove them from surfaces. Chalk and oven cleaners are basic as well as the blood in your body. We measure the acidity or alkalinity of a substance on the pH scale. This is a scale that ranges from 0 to 14. Acids have pH values below 7, and the closer the pH is to 0, the more acidic it is. If you look at the diagram, it shows that lemon juice has a pH around 2, so it would be a stronger acid than a tomato, which has a pH around 4. A solution that has a pH of 7 is a neutral solution. It is neither an acid nor a base. Pure water is a neutral solution with a pH of 7. Basic solutions have pH values above 7, and the closer the pH value is to 14, the more basic it is. So, if you look at the diagram, drain cleaner would be a stronger base than ammonia. The numbers between the pH scale actually represent a large difference between the acidity or alkalinity of substances. A change of 1 pH unit represents 10 times the change in the acidity of a solution. For example, if one solution has a pH of 1 and a second solution has a pH of 2, the first solution is not twice as acidic as the second, it is 10 times more acidic. One of the tools that can be used to determine whether a substance is an acid or a base is litmus paper. There are red and blue litmus paper. If you take a piece of red litmus paper and dip it into a base, it will turn the paper blue. But if you dip the red litmus paper into an acid or a neutral solution, then the paper will stay red. Likewise, if you take blue litmus paper and dip it in an acid, it will turn the paper red. But if you take blue litmus paper and dip it in a base or a neutral substance, then it will stay blue. So, blue always indicates a base, and red always indicates an acid. But you have to use both red and blue papers to determine if a substance is neutral, because a neutral substance will not change the color of either paper. Now that you have learned about acids and bases, make sure to complete the acids and bases worksheet to review what you have learned.